The following activity uses common household items such as lemon juice and baking soda that are quite safe to use, but it also uses hot water which needs to be handled carefully. This activity should be done only under the supervision of an adult.
Hi, my name is Jana Russell and I am a biology lab instructor here at Randolph College. Welcome to Science Festival. So I want to introduce to you today something pretty special. This is my magic teapot, Matilda. Now Matilda not only keeps my tea nice and hot, she also can pour any color tea that I want her to. Matilda, I'd like my tea red, please. Perfect. Matilda, I'd like my tea blue, please. Matilda, I'd like my tea pink, please. Matilda, I'd like my tea green, please. And Matilda, I think I want my tea purple. Now we of course know that Matilda is really not magic. All of this can be explained with just a little bit of science. So let's get to our activity. Okay, so to get this activity started, you're going to need two things: hot water and a source of anthocyanins. So first of all, I have some hot water here in a hot water pot. You don't need a hot water pot. You could actually just heat some water in the microwave or on the stove, or you could take it directly from the sink. The hotter it is, the faster you're going to get what we're trying to create here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pour some hot water into my beaker. You don't have to have a beaker. You can have a bowl if you want. And then I'm going to get my source of anthocyanins. The anthocyanins are a pigment that is found in plants. You can actually find anthocyanins in flowers like violets and hydrangeas. You can find it in different types of fruit like blueberries or cherries or grapes, or you can find it in vegetables like sweet potatoes, or in this case we have some red cabbage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this red cabbage, which you can find in the produce section of the grocery store, and I am just going to remove some of the leaves. Now what we want to do is take these leaves and we want to put them in our hot water. We can break them up into little pieces, and the anthocyanins, which are what make this cabbage purple or red, are going to seep into that water. And this process is going to take anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes depending on how hot your water is. Now while that is going, I'm going to set this aside, and the next thing that you are going to need is some household substances. Now anthocyanins, as we said, are pigments in plants that are what we called ionic in nature, meaning that they will accept hydrogen ions or they will release hydrogen ions depending on the environment that they are in. So what happens is they will change color as they accept or release these hydrogen ions. When we take a look at this accepting or releasing of hydrogen ions, it will actually change their colors, which means that these are what we call a pH indicator. As it changes colors, it will tell us what the pH is in their particular environment. So we need to go out into our house and we need to find some substances that have these ions in them. These substances we call acids and bases. Acids actually release hydrogen ions, and bases accept hydrogen ions. So when we go into our house, and we can test any substance that is in our house, when we go into our house and look for these things, there are a lot of things that are cleaners that are bases, and then we can find a lot of acids in our food. So what I have here is some window cleaner. I have some baking soda. I have some vinegar. I have some soy sauce. And I have some lemon juice. And you may have some other things around that you want to test as well, and that is perfectly fine. So I'm going to set these aside, and then I'm going to take out a small cup that I can put my seeped cabbage water in. That's going to be our pH indicator. So I'm going to put these little cups, and I just happen to have medicine cups. You could use paper cups or regular glasses at home. And I've got 5 substances that I want to test. So I'm going to put my 5 different medicine cups here. And then I'm going to continue to wait. I'm going to come back when my pH indicator is ready. It has been about 15 minutes and my pH indicator is ready. So all I'm going to do is pour a small amount of my pH indicator into each of my cups. You'll notice that this particular pH indicator is the color of purple. Purple is for neutral, meaning it is a pH of 7. But as we add different substances, if the pH is different, it will change the color of our pH indicator. Acids turn our purple to pink and to red based upon how acidic they are. Bases turn our purple to blue or even to green or yellow as it becomes more basic. So if you remember back to our household substances, we've got several different substances to test. Our first one is lemon juice. All it needs is a couple of drops. And we can see that lemon juice is a bright pink, which means that lemon juice is in fact an acid. Let's add our baking soda next. Baking soda turns a shade of blue, so baking soda is a base. Now let's try our vinegar. Vinegar turns a pink, so vinegar is an acid. Let's try our Windex, our window cleaner. Green, it must be a pretty strong base. And then last but not least, we're doing our soy sauce. Now, I haven't tested this one before. Let's see how it goes. Maybe too dark. Alright, so I don't know if you can see it very well. It turned a very light shade of pink, as well as the color of the soy sauce, which soy sauce is a little bit acidic. So now back to our magic trick. So in order to get our beakers to be the different colors that I asked Matilda to pour, at the bottom of each of these beakers, I placed a substance that I knew what color it was going to change to. It was a very, very small amount in the bottom of the beaker. And of course in Matilda was my pH indicator. So when I pour it into that beaker, I knew what color it was going to change. So now you can go out and do a little science or a little magic in your own house.